Hello, welcome to Orphan Espresso. I'm Doug.
I'm Barb.
And this is the latest edition of our line of manual coffee grinders. This is the OE SMOL. The name, of course, stems from the fact that compared to our Lido grinders, which we've been making for almost 15 years, it's indeed small. This is a Lido 1 from 2011. It holds about 100 grams of coffee. A good operative capacity for this grinder is about 30. You can hold 40 in it if you want to cram the beans in, but 30 is kind of the sweet spot as far as the maximum capacity for the grinder. And the Lido line evolved into the Lido OG. And this is the culmination of basically 15 years of work on hand grinders that we've done. The SMOL shares a lot of features of the OG. It has a stainless steel catch jar, which is quite important for effective static dissipation. Uncoated metal is the best for that. Stainless steel catch jar, as we have over here. The burr is the Etzinger hardened steel burr made in Liechtenstein. And the handle is stainless steel. The knob is solid Delrin, which is held on with a magnet. The hopper system is anodized aluminum, machined and anodized with a roller bearing on the top and a roller bearing on the bottom. The beans are added into the side, as with the OG, which is allows us to use the top of the grinder for the adjustment system. Here is the adjustment system on the SMOL, which is comprised of 2 discs and a handle. Okay? The top disc is the reference disc.
Move your thumb.
Oops.
Other one.
Oops.
There. Now I can see the C and the F.
So this is the reference disc. This is the locking disc. These 2 discs riding on a 0.5 millimeter pitch thread, 500 micron pitch thread, they
operate together.
Operate together up and down on the thread, changing the burr gap. Okay? As they move in the C direction, right? Counterclockwise, that's the C direction. Both of these move upward, creating a larger burr gap. Vertical burr movement, okay? It's related to burr gap, but what we're keeping track of is vertical burr movement based on the 0.5 millimeter thread that this system is operating on. I would add that it's kind of obvious now that it is a stepless system, and I'll demonstrate a little more about its use. The scale, which is located on the handle, now I'm set at 0. The scale has 4 major divisions: 125 microns, 250 microns, 375, and back 1 revolution is 500. Then you keep following the math out to 625, etc., 750, around and around. Okay? Each one of the small divisions is about 10 microns. So when you have a setting, let's say you have dialed in to, let's say, we're at 375 major, and we go for more minor, and let's just say that that's a reasonable espresso setting. I add my 1, 2, 3, 4. I add 40 microns to 375. That gives me a number, if that number is important to me. And it is important to me because when I'm dialing in, it gives me a ballpark. I can multiply that number by 60% and get an approximate burr gap. And I say, okay, that makes sense. If I'm about 460%, that's an approximate burr gap of 240. That makes sense for espresso. And it's the same way with pour over or any other method. But that's the grind adjustment system. Now, I've got a few beans in here, and by the way, this is the way that the jar is held on. All right, this is basically a loaded lip seal system that once you put it on, it's extremely resistant to pull off. It's really difficult to pull this off straight. It helps, but pop, comes right off. Okay? Now, one of the features of our Lido line is that there's a learning curve on how to use the grinder. It uses base-supported grinding. And this grinder is much more, remember I've got it set at 3 at 4 marks above 3/4. Okay. This grinder has more of the standard usage format that people are familiar with. Two-handed, bicycle motion, you know, it's a familiar, comforting thing to just be able to pick up a grinder, put in some beans and use it. Okay. Another thing, that feature, which I don't have a portafilter here to show you, is that this cup fits in a standard 58 millimeter portafilter basket. So for direct dosing, you don't need any funnels or any other devices. Okay, have I said everything, Barb?
I think so. I can't think of anything you left out that's important.
Okay, this is the OE SMOL. This is the travel bag.
Oh, there is one thing. It's that you can set it and check it for your 0 as the grinder breaks in.
That's why I got this out, okay? This is an important factor, and that you can always go back and you can check to see if your 0 is accurate, okay? That goes down to 0, that goes in lock. Okay, when I pull this up and down, there's no movement. All right, that's my 0, okay? When the grinder breaks in, this mark will move in that direction. And it moves in the finer direction because the burrs seep together a lot better, okay? That's an important thing, is that you either have to just live with this offset forever, or you recalibrate the grinder. You recheck the grinder. And that's the...
And all grinders do this.
Yes.
But
That's
not
the
all
purpose.
grinders can you accommodate it.
Accommodate that on the fly, is basically. Case in point, I was the other day, I was pulling a shot of espresso on a robot and ground with the SMOL, and I was asking myself, I said, has my 0 changed at all? And indeed, after 8 months, it changed 3 marks after about a kilogram of coffee, and then it stabilized. And at some point in that time, it got a little better by 1 mark. And then again, another mark. So it's really important to be able to go back and check to say, is this 0? Yes, it's 0. Everything is accurate. It's all good. Okay? Maybe that's more than you needed to know. A lot of this is in the manual. We're going to have some videos coming up going over the manual, the setup, and some of these other things. But I put it in the bag and ready to go.